let's get it underway. I'll take a motion to approve the Board of Education regular meeting minutes for January 18, 2012. So moved. Motion by Mr. Russell. Second by Mr. Shook. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Approval of budget workshop minutes from January 24, 2012. May I have a motion? So moved. Motion by Mr. Dixon, second by Mr. Gilbert. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Additions and deletions to the agenda?
We have two additions, one to the consent agenda. We have two volunteers for approval, one for softball, one for baseball. And we also have a visitor under business with an informational presentation, Mr. David.
Very good. Any deletions from the consent agenda? May I have a motion regarding the consent agenda? No. Motion by Mr. Shook, second by Mr. Russell. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Committee on Special Education recommendations. May I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Dixon. Second by Mr. Shook. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Okay, business. We have a visit from our internal business auditor. I believe we do.
I'd like to welcome Laura Granaway from the CEO of the Central Business Office for both and she is filling the role of internal bank auditor. She understands that
I wasn't sure what exactly the expectation would be for the presentation this evening, but I thought I would give you a little recap of what we found in the 6 months of this fiscal year. Go back, review the claims audit. During those 6 months, we found 166 items of note, which overall is about 8% of your invoices. When we first began looking at your accounts payable warrants, we were finding about a 15% rate of issues with them, which we've seen some significant improvement here. Which is great. I looked at January, we were finding items at about a 3% rate. So certainly there's a great upgrade on the part of the district to some of the items that we found. Predominantly, the items that have come out this year are contracts not being in place in a few areas. Pikes worked very hard at getting those in place and getting us copies of contracts when they haven't been presented ahead of time. We found some account codes that were in question, which is certainly not uncommon. There have been a few instances where we had questions security matching for expense items. And of course, there's always the expenditures on food. Always that we audit and that we know, that we audit. One area that's a stickler, not only for that, but for, again, any district that we audit is confirmed orders. About 20% of your error rate, if you want to call it an error rate, issue rate is over confirmed orders. Again, this is an area where we've seen improvement during the year. I know, again, your business official your purchasing agent has worked at getting more annual open orders in place during the school year, which is great. Some things to keep in mind at any time that you engage in a contract or you know that you're going to be purchasing any goods that can be encumbered right away by use of a purchase order. But we know from time to time they are not small. Things that we'd like to work on going forward with the district is we'd like to find an avenue to get information directly to the board. We work for you. We do create a claims audit report monthly, so if we can just get some sort of indication how to get that into the loop to become part of your board agenda and your packet, that'd be great. And then you'll have that information and you'll be up to date with everything that we're seeing. We have talked a little bit with the district about the fund and getting invoices input. I know it becomes a client issue in accounts payable. tracks these very well, but it's just one more area where you can strengthen your internal control if those individual invoices are going into your finance system directly. We also, actually, I just spoke with Rick in the last couple of weeks about making sure that we get the right to the claim from the purchasing agent a little more formalized. We understand that you reviewed most, if not all, invoices, but we are going to try and get a report that you can sign on just to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. And finally, one thing that we haven't spoken with the district about yet, but we'd like to make sure with BAP and also with our other districts that any prepaid expenses, we're making sure that they come full circle. We have instituted that this year with a few of our districts, and we'd like to make sure that we're doing that for you as well. Are there any questions for me?
Just I'm glad to see that the issues of non-compliance are improving. You know, obviously they're going down. It's like the monthly. If you got them to jobs, you can make sure it gets in the board package so you get that monthly report. So that would be your avenue to do that.
Great.
That would be great.
We start that. So we start that with January's reports going forward?
Absolutely.
Okay, that'd be great. Very good. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Take action on the refunding bond resolution. Have you any information on this?
There's several different ways, depending on what you decide to do for your refunding. Our immediate approximate savings is about $134,000 for the next depending on how much of the debt service reserve you might want to allocate towards the principal. Making the motion to move forward with the refunding does not obligate us to do it, but it does give us permission if it does prove to be financially feasible. Also, it is contingent upon permission from Commissioner of Education as well. Overall, we have saved anywhere from $1.4 to $1.8 million. Over the life, which is 2027.
Motion to move forward.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Russell. Second by Mr. Gilbert. Discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Mr. Adams. Contact engineer.
Does everybody have the summary sheet? Essentially, we have $3.4 million left in the $16.5 million project. Starting with that number, we back out incidental costs, which would be printing, testing, various expenses, soft costs during the project, which leaves us 2.786 for available for construction. Through the past at least year anyway, we've met with administrators, determined the priority 1, 2, and 3 list of work. This list that you have that equals the priority 1 items is 2.7 million. So essentially, if you look at the available construction, it's 2,786,000 priority 1 items, but then narrowed down to 2,764,000. So it's pretty much right on. Separate from that, there was an authorization for Excel of $866,700 for a separate Excel we call it in lieu of project. And we'll do just the roofing for that. We qualify for the Excel, we get all the Excel aid back. That utilizes the district's, 100% of the district's Excel aid. So I separated that roofing work. There's a summary on that sheet as well in the box for what we're projecting for each And it's short of going through each item. What you have is all of the list of all of the priority one items in that package. Short of going through, the entire list. I guess I'd ask if you have any questions regarding the scope of work that's listed there, or any items that you want to add or switch out from that. I will say the first item on the list, which is doors at BEW, there's a calculation here and there. It says 70 doors is 133,000. 35 doors in the estimate. 35 doors is actually 66,000, not 135. But don't get excited that you're making up 66,000 because I've already allocated it to place it very low. So any questions on the scope of work?
Mr. Martin, I know the building, ground committee looked at this, all set? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Okay, and then instructional personnel.
Okay. We have 3 resignations to act on. And 1 leave of absence. First resignation we had is Mrs. Carol McBethridge, the Director Specialist.
I have a motion. Motion by Mr. Dixon. Second by Mr. Michaud. Any discussion?
As always, thank you for your use of service. We certainly disregard all of your leaders. We appreciate that very much. And thank you for your work.
Thank you, Mr. McBethridge. Any further discussion? All in favor? 6-0.
Next we have Ms. Christine Hart, teacher and instructor at Dana Ryan. Will be retiring at the end of the year also.
Kathy? Motion by Mr. Russell. Second by Mr. Gilbert. Any discussion? Yeah,
How to do that?
that has been on my mind.
Yeah.
Great teacher, taught my children both very much like that. Any further discussion? All in favor? 6-0.
Last but not least, we have Charmin Jensen.
May I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Michaud. Second by Mr. Michaud. Any discussion? Thank you. Mr. Michaud? Thank you, too. Any further discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Congratulations, Charlie. Okay, education. Oh, we have one more?
We have a leave of absence.
Oh, there. Instruction of absence. Okay. Any motion? Motion by Mr. Dixon. Second by Mr. Bishop. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Okay, now we get to educational curriculum. Administrators' reports.
Real quick, high school wise, back in January, I mentioned that we had a different schedule for transition week. Just want to congratulate the teachers, did an excellent job, closing out one semester, starting another semester in the same week. A lot of work went into that week, making that happen. It was very smoothly. Students in the second semester classes, we picked up 2 extra days of instruction, which was outstanding. Just keep you updated. We're still waiting for some direction from state ed. If they decide to play with the region states, then we might be looking at another schedule, but we'll keep posted. just keep giving me updates. I realize that we're not getting any information from them yet. So we are working on, just let you know, we are working on a couple backup plans to say, plan B and C, just in case we do need to go to a different schedule. But we're not different high school.
Any questions? Thank you.
Well, we've been working hard at the primary school too, but we've been having a lot of fun. There was a lot of love in our building yesterday. Chocolate, roses, in the works. Just want to let you know about our Celebrate Reading Week, which is going to be February 27th through March 2nd. We'll have special events every day. We're going to have Crazy Sock Day, we're Black and White Day, that'll be my favorite. A Wearing Stripes Day, a day we wear red, and of course our all-favorite Pajama Day. If you'd like to come in and read to our kids, we're having guest readers during lunch, our favorite time of the day, and just pick up the phone and give us a call. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Steve.
I am Steve. The board has in the packet the comprehensive educational plan that we have for students with disabilities in Westfield 4A. Basically, it was for your review. It's something that I need to submit to the state probably the next few weeks or so. If you guys have any questions on it, basically I'm just here to answer questions you guys have.
Okay. Yes?
You have it?
I just think it's cool.
No. Do any of you have it? Well, then that makes it real simple.
Where is it?
Oh, you're supposed to have it. No? Well,
We'll have a copy here.
if you have any questions on it,
We'll ask questions.
don't worry about it.
Thank you. We have the 2011-2012 calendar.
Yes, we're asking to revise the 2011-12 calendar one more time. And we are going to move the April 27th day that was originally scheduled as a conference day to March 16th because April the 27th is actually a testing day. Schedule completed prior to test dates that we received from SED, so we can't have a conference day when we're supposed to be in test. So we're asking to move it to March the 16th, and that will be a building wide conference day. Each building will create their own conference.
So moved. Motion by Mr. Russell, second by Mr. Dixon. Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. 2012-2013 calendar.
And we have the 2012-2013 tentative calendar for your approval. It's a total of 185 days and lists all of the key dates with the exception of specific parent-teacher conference days, which we will be providing you with.
Very good. Have a motion. Motion by Mr. Gilbert. Second by Mr. Russell. Any discussion? I know spring break is very early. They know we take vacation. We like to take vacation in warm weather.
I really don't see how you can do plans this winter.
Probably going to be next year.
Any discussion? All in favor? 6-0. Cheerleading trip.
In your packet, I request a trip for the cheerleaders to attend a national championship in Cleveland, Ohio. And I thought some of the cheerleaders were going to be here in case you had any questions. There you go.
Let's take a motion. Motion by Mr. Dixon, second by Mr. Bishop. Discussion.
You were supposed to come to your practice, is that what?
Correct.
I mean, the friendly nature with Bradford will stop once you get there, right? Most competition once you get there, right? Different division?
Gotta make sure we got right home though.
Any further discussion?
Good luck.
Good luck to you. All in favor? Sure?
Now good luck.
Now good luck. All right. Open agenda for visitor statements. Would anyone like to make a statement?
I would.
Yes.
Hi, I would like to talk to you about your code of conduct. There was an incident that happened here at the school with a teacher and a guidance counselor where several of these were violated. And yet, to the best of my knowledge, that's been cleaned up. So, how do you guys practice? How do you fix this? Because several of these were violated.
The allegations was going to the principal. Principal? Principal forwarded the principal shared with me, and I shared it with the
So what's going to happen with this particular guidance counselor? I mean, are they going to be allowed to get away with making implied threats to parents and overruling the parent's decision to not let their child attend an event?
And any personnel decision or any punishment or consequences that you see by any student or personnel is not something that we could discuss in open session.
I'm not asking for the specifics. I want to know what the steps are. How do you resolve a staff member violating several of your code of conduct rules? How do you deal with that?
Well, I would suggest that you provide the principal with those violations
We
that you
did.
perceive
We already
occurred,
got
and the principal will look into those, and if need be, if there's any action to be taken, we'll take care of it.
Well, I also think it needs to be looked into about teachers giving parents implied threats. Because this teacher threatened the mother with CPS. And don't you know, by a set of coincidence, CPS was knocking on her door that afternoon? So how do parents get safeguards against teachers getting revenge on them? What's your safeguards for that? Does it have to go through a process, or can any staff member pick up the phone and make a report?
Again, we can't discuss anything in regards to your allegations because of the confidential nature of those statements. But I can guarantee you that Mr. Seeger will look into it.
Well, I would appreciate that, and I continue to revise the code of ethics again to include what the steps are for all this. Because I read through the entire page, all 34 pages of it, and there's nothing in there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Clark.
Yeah, we had some people that worked at the girls section of it. They took 3.5 months for them to get reimbursed. I've been asking for the policy from the school on how we go about this. If they work for the county, because the county sends the money down, Section 5 sends the money down, who they work for, how they go about getting reimbursed. I've got nothing there. How do we get this information?
Well, Mr. Clark, it's my understanding that you stopped in the office on a day when I was not in the office and you met with one of the other people at the business office who gave you the claim forms that need to be filled out CA, and then she explained to you the difference between an employee and a contractor, and also explained that if the person is a contractor, we would forward them the W-9 to be filled out in order to be paid. If you'd like to give me a call tomorrow to set up an appointment to review it again, I'd be happy to give, the time.
So, my thing is, if it's a sessional event, do we open for session 5? It seems like the Savannah County tournament today, do we work for Savannah County or?
It depends on what the agreement is at the time the event is scheduled. In some instances, there can be a bidding process where we give the section or the county a lump sum price to have the event here and with the hopes of making a profit or at least covering our costs. At other times, it's I don't think round robin is the proper term, but each district takes turns hosting different county events. County typically pays the lifeguards and everyone directly. We send them a financial statement of how much money was gathered and then what the anticipated expenses are, and they pay the lifeguards and students directly. With the Section 5 event that you're talking about, there was no payroll no time cards turned in, and no claim forms turned in. Without documents processed for payroll doesn't get processed. It's really that simple. So once we learned that there has been a breakdown in the system, I mailed a claim form to every person that was on the list that was given by the AD, and everyone sent them back, and I believe all have been paid, and that's because the form just came in yesterday.
All right,
Everyone did have their W-9 and 12.
So for all sessional county events, then the workers need to fill out vouchers and W-9.
There needs to be some sort of paperwork to process payroll, whether it's a timesheet or a voucher. And you only have to do a W-9 once. The IRS likes to see a W-9 every year, but they will allow us to keep them on file for up to 7 years. But we do have to have them updated on a regular basis, particularly if it is a legitimate corporation or a company.
All right.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
As you guys all know, most or a lot of us are here for Chuck Martin, and these kids are here for Chuck Martin. And I personally just want to know from what these kids are here to say to me, to teach my daughter about assault or sexual assault, I take it very serious. And I think that you guys are truly teaching our children something that I would love to teach my daughter at this school. I'm ashamed I graduated from here. I'm ashamed my son graduated from here. That man is here for our children. He does everything. My daughter gets verbally abused. I spoke to you about it. Never got a call back from you. And I simply told you the same thing when I talked to Cindy at the bus garage. My daughter's punished has to sit in the front seat of the bus because the bus driver sunrise it. But Chuck Martin is good to our kids and been suspended. I'm just really curious, and I believe a lot of these people are at how, and I know you can't say anything to the taxpayers. I understand that, but is there anything you can say to the taxpayers? We all want to know. And these kids firmly believe in Chuck Martin, right? So bad that her daughter.
Well, of course, as you mentioned, we can't really talk about any personnel issue or anything like that. But that we've seen the petition that's gone by, we've all seen it. There's so many signatures on it, and that so many people signed that petition. That you all have turned out to support him speaks very well of him, and it's certainly something, one of the things that will be considered as the process moves forward. It's the situation's under investigation.
There's nothing investigating. There shouldn't be not investigating something, but Chuck Martin claims to these kids does not sexually assault them. I'm not the mother that would allow my daughter around that. And furthermore, she gets punished and has to sit in the front of the bus because a 17-year-old verbally abuses my 12-year-old because the bus driver is the mother of this child. Have I got a phone back? Not from Mr. Kelly. I haven't got a call back. And Cindy, I had to keep calling her back. That's okay to get away with, but it's not okay for Chuck to do that. Am I going to get cuffed now because I just did that? Seriously, it's insulting. As parents, by saying that we're bad for allowing our children around him. I'm a good mother. I'm a phenomenal mother. And there's no way anyone would be around my daughter or alone with my daughter if that were the case. He's a good man. He does not deserve to spit in the face like this. Have this carried on with him forever. This isn't a joke. I'm trying to teach my daughter that you don't do this. You don't accuse people of stuff like this. You guys are, this is insulting. I want her to have respect. And when there's really something to accuse somebody of, make sure it's true. Because if you go up to my daughter and you put your arm around her, that's sexual assault. That is not sexual assault. Teach them the right thing. These kids are what matters, and he cares about them.
When we look at something, we always proceed with a sign of caution. And I don't believe that by proceeding on the side of caution, and as you said, making sure allegations are true or not true, that's not intended to cast some sort of judgment on what kinds of parents would allow their children to ride a bus. Obviously not.
It's not just a bus. This is public. This is kids that don't ride this bus. Ask that child if she was assaulted. My daughter has gone over to Ann and Chuck Marvin's house numerous times. My daughter is alone with Chuck Marvin. Come on, this is not. You guys are giving him a bad name. Why? Because he was upset about safety rules, and this is where it all started. Really? I mean, where does that end? Why?
What are you trying to teach the children? What values are you trying to teach them? Obviously, they're not coming through.
I think another point that should be made. Another point that should be made is that maybe the supervisors of the bus garage should be looked into too, instead of targeting a certain.
They loved it. Christmas time was the first person they thought of when they made Christmas lunch. We've had bullying on our bus. 2 brothers that bullied Dad. I turned them in, we turned them in, we turned them in. All I have to do is tell him, and he takes them aside and he talks to them. He doesn't yell at them like some of the other bus drivers that you have, and especially the one that's driving that bus right now. She got so mad at the kids the other day, she turned the radio up so loud that the kids, all the kids came home, and it was just really just everybody what was going on. And I don't looking into. She almost didn't even pay attention, and a kid fell in front of the bus, and she almost left with the kids almost being dead. Now, enough's enough. This man is what we want in our community. And we all the markets. Every single one of the markets. He can go and get a job anywhere, and he's done it. He chooses to be with our children, and he loves our children. And he doesn't love them like the way you guys are presenting. He's a wonderful man, and we need more of him in this community. We need more of him.
Yeah, Mr. Morgan's my son's bus driver as well, and his mom was my bus driver. So I feel obviously very comfortable with him at the wheel of the bus and in charge of my children. He's been, my child has autism, so it's harder for people to deal with. And because of the way the school has approached disabilities, has approached differences, both with me, with kids I've seen, with the unbelievable track record of sending kids to BOCES because they're behavior problem, because they're interesting, because they like music as opposed to English. For whatever those reasons are, this is the same stigmatism. No, I read through all the bus regulations from across the country, and nowhere did I see in the bus regulations that you can't have fun, and people can't like you, and you can't smile and laugh and make people have a good day. This is a person who does that. This is a person who meets all the qualifications and is interested in the safety of our children. We have an unbelievable lack of expertise in this town where people are experts in the subjects they're making decisions about. We have people that are making decisions on technology that aren't IT people. We have decisions that are making decisions in transportation who aren't experts in transportation. They don't know the numbers. They're looking at on your own websites. There's surveys and explanations from 2003 and 2006. We have the technology to make these differences. We have the personnel who love our kids, and that's who we're targeting. It's it's reactionary. It's not a proper decision. It's not a decision that was made with thoughtfulness. You accuse this man of something as opposed to investigating first and then making a decision. You accuse him of it. And then even though the community has the right of freedom of information and transparency within the school district by state and federal law, you're saying that we don't. So you're telling people that they don't have right to information even though it's confidential. But if I pick up a lollipop from the store and get arrested, I'm in the newspaper. My picture and everything. And if you're a minor, at least the event is categorized so that the people in the community know what's going on. So they have a wide picture, so they can get the information they're interested in. They can be involved. And situations like this are stopping. It's non-transparency in the school district, antiquated policies, and over-anxious administration is a big part of the problem. And these are the people that we need, not super strict mandates that say teachers can't have fun with kids. My son was hurt and the teacher hugged him and rubbed him back. Is that sexual harassment? Absolutely not. And that's common sense. So let's use common sense as opposed to being reactionary, I guess is what I'm saying. So thanks for your time.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Diana Hunter, and I'm the alumni of the school. I graduated in 1987 in St. Prescott, and I'm here for the same reason as the senior up here. I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed. And this is not just about chalk. It's about the last 5 years of stuff that I've heard from teachers and parents. The morale here is so bad that I have to hear about it all the way to the end, and I couldn't keep complaining. That's how bad it is. And when I come up to parents at church here, and I come up to parents at events that I go to here, to hear that they hate here, why? I graduated here in 1987, people I loved it here. And I am so embarrassed to try you guys to take this approach. You in front of me, right here, they go around talking this off before they're like this. Should be issuing yourself. Because if I was picked up by him or any of these other students, if that member were picked up by him and told that they were assaulted, if I'm an adult and I'm picked up by this man and we're moving around, we're having fun, that's not assault. That's illegal. Since I've worked for parents for 20 years. And when you say something like that, when you repeat stuff like that you don't know what you're talking about, you should be ashamed of yourselves because you're affecting this man's life. You may never get a job somewhere else because of this kind of crap. And it should stop right here. And every one of you should make sure that you do something about it. Now, I am not your biological child, but I've been a member of this family for 30 years. Because God didn't bless me with the best families. This family is tight. And when you have my family, you attach me.
Anyone else? We'll go with Ms. Brooks standing up.
17 years I devoted to doing the same thing that my brother, my mother, our brother as well did here. 17 years I did it. I see a lot of faces in this room that I transported to and from school. When I first came here, it wasn't a real fun job. It wasn't having a lot of fun. Actually, I was labeled with what was, at the time, the worst bus route there was. You can ask anybody, kids that rode the bus, I see one nodding her head up there, she was one of them. The worst bus route there was, I got that in my first bus route. I stayed on that bus route for 15 years. Turns out that happens to be the same bus route that my brother drives right now. Took me a little while, whipped the kids into shape, so to speak. With or without the school's help, doing the same thing as he's doing. Speaking to the parents, doing what I've got to do, because at certain times along that time frame, if I wrote this kid up that so-and-so slapped so-and-so or touched so-and-so, it gets to the bus garage. It goes to the school. It goes wherever. It goes wherever. 3 weeks later, Mom and Dad are hearing about it. On my bus, that happens. Mom and Dad hear about it that night. There's no... I realize there's red tape. There's all this bull crap. And it goes on further. And things happen. We moved the transportation division off premises. Things started to go a little bit smoother, having a better time, camaraderie at work. We go down the horse around a little bit. A few years back, things started to decline a little bit. After 17 years, I called it quits driving the school bus. Not necessarily because I wanted to. Something else came up. I had reservations of whether I should have quit driving the school bus or not. But I'll tell you right now, I'm sure as heck glad I did, because I don't want to go through any of this bull crap that my mother and my brother have gone through. I'm sure I would have been next, so thank God it ain't me.
Now, I understand you folks have a process. Okay, Mr. Marvin is my daughter's bus driver. Mr. Marvin is the only reason my daughter rides the bus. Okay? The man is my neighbor. He is my friend. So what I want to know is you took that man out from behind the wheel. And I personally have reported his replacement twice. Okay? Twice. Turned the radio up so loud, my daughter come home crying because her ears hurt. I called the garage. Got nothing. That woman drove that bus this morning. That's ridiculous. To me, that's child abuse. That man needs to drive a bus. Thank you.
I graduated this year, and I think that man will drive a bus the rest of this year and whenever he wants to quit. It's not right for you guys to take it out on both of them, and I know it's no different than that's driving now. Skipped my cousin's house, skipped my friend's house yesterday. It's not worth it. That man there stops and waits. What are you supposed to do? And it's, everyone here can speak for me. That man loves his kids, and I love that. That's all I have to say.
My daughter likes that, huh? Sorry. I have never had one complaint about truck driving. Not one. I apologize to the bus driver twice for this new one. She does not make sure she stops completely. You know, she doesn't sit down. Not one. My daughter almost got hurt. She carries the sports bag, her book bag, and she doesn't make sure that child will sit down before she goes. She sits in the back. She should wait for that child to sit down before she moves. And she's gone past her mouth. I called the bus driver the other day, and their excuse was she's new. No, she's driving for a week or more now. She should know where all these children live. I shouldn't have to go to work and wonder if my child is going to get to school or not, because the bus driver misses them. And I'm on the way up and I'm on the way back too. I never had a problem with Chuck Martin, never. And if I had a problem, I'd go to Chuck Martin. I would go to the bus garage. I'm sorry. I figured taking care of right then and there. Because I couldn't go to the man that I trust to take care of what's going on that bus. And now I can't.
You can't trust the bus driver, you can't trust the bus driver. They're dangerous. She doesn't want to take care of it. No, but my little 7-year-old came home, and she was called elusive. I wanted to get on the bus. So she reported it to the bus driver. She told me that. And the bus driver said, the Chuck will be back on Monday. Instead of taking care of it right then and there, she said, Chuck will be back on Monday. Now, excuse me, does that tell you something? She doesn't want to take care of it. She needs to not be, I'm that real.
Thank you.
Now, let's go to the first.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a local daycare provider for here in Bath. I've done it for many years. I've had many different bus drivers. I've had kids from all walks of life. Because it's totally not partial in comparison to others. Several of the bus drivers are very partial to the children. One of my 7-year-olds summed it up for me today when they asked me, where's the band I want to be? Best bus driver ever. That's how much they love him. But I love him. My whole restaurant loves him. I just want everybody to know that we all love him, not just because of who he is, or what he's about, or his family's about, or what his brother's about. Or if I hear everybody that's speaking here, everybody knows that we all love him. But he's a good person. And I want everybody to know that, because we all know that, but not the whole town does, because they want us to be hush-hush. I speak on behalf of the whole town. He's a good man. Give him his job. I want everybody to hear that he did not do anything wrong, and he would not hurt any of our children.
I just simply want to say, I know my boys. Some people say, but I know my boys. Okay? I know that he goes around. I know he, whatever.
That's what they love.
But he would never do anything to hurt any of your kids.
Linda, just because you brought them up with love, guess what? He is all about. He is about love. He's not about this sex thing you guys got him labeled. He is a loving person and goes to both families. He is a role model. His kids look up to him.
I'm a current student at this bus right now, or well, used to be a bus, I should be saying, and personally, he's the only reason I ride the bus because I trust him somewhat more than I trust my own parents. Even though he's not on the bus right now, I would still go to him for anything. I don't like the bus driver that I have right now. He asks me questions like, how's this person doing? How do you know me? How do you know that I know this person? Kind of stalkerish to me. And I've had issues with my mom, so I moved out of my mom's house for a while, went to my dad's house. Chuck was more than willing to pick me up every single morning, ask me how's your day going, what's going on. I went to Tennessee for a while. He was the first one I saw when I came back, 11 o'clock at night, asking how you doing, what's going on, how's your trip, what's the weather like, everything. All of us, me, Ashley, and Melissa, and Grace, we all love him. Every single one of us. All these kids here, we all love him.
support it. Believe me, we will consider everything that's been said here. The last one. I'm sorry, did you say it again? We'll consider everything, and thank you all.
I have a question about not Mr. Marvin.
I'm sorry.
I have a question about not Mr. Marvin.
Okay, yes.
Out of curiosity, after numerous complaints tonight about a bus driver who is verbally and emotionally abusing children with loud music to make them cry, if she is on the bus tomorrow morning, who do I report to? Since the whole board right here has heard this from numerous parents, who do we report to tomorrow to take it to the next level that you allowed a bus driver who is abusing numerous children, if you allow her on the bus first thing tomorrow morning? Who do all of us here report to out of curiosity? Is there a name, a number, a state department, something that you board as allowing her to abuse our children? Who do we report to tomorrow?
I'll tell you what you do. If she's abusing children like this man is not, you pick up the phone call, because yes, all the teachers and staff here are mandated reporters, and guess what? That's all you have to do.
No, the abuse has already been reported.
They're hearing it right now.
So I want to make sure she is not on the bus tomorrow morning.
You hotline her.
I'm very concerned. I do not want to see her on the bus tomorrow morning and see my daughter cry. So are you going to at least reassure us tonight that you will not allow this woman who is hurting a lot of children mentally, emotionally, their ears, their head, making children cry? Or can you at least reassure us she will not be on the bus tomorrow?
Again, any discipline that we take, or any action we take regarding a personality is not something that we can discuss. Believe me, though, we've heard.
You didn't answer the question. Who do we call?
Because she's abusing our children, and if you allow her to be on the bus tomorrow morning...
We called the bus garage, nothing got solved. I want to know who we called about that.
Yeah, we came here to solve at least one out of part two of this problem to get Chuck back on the bus.
I will look into your allegations tomorrow morning. I will pull the tapes from the bus and view the tapes in regards to your allegations of abuse from this driver.
Okay, but will she be pulled off like tomorrow morning so that my child's not crying and other children aren't crying because she makes their head work
For child safety first, isn't that what you said earlier from Mr. Marvin?
Yes. So can you please reassure us that you're going to, help our children tomorrow morning?
I can make sure that if the allegations are true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
That's a bullshit. No, wait, no. The question was, if this young lady is driving the bus in the morning, and if I'm not talking slow enough, I can slow down, who do I contact from there?
That you allowed abuse.
Because you all we have reported abuse to our children to you. We pulled Mr. Martin off of the bus for the same thing. I understand what you did. I want to know, if this woman is driving the bus in the morning, who am I reporting to? That's the question.
Well, have you called?
You have called the bus driver?
Yes. Numerous times.
Many hearings, this is not just for us, many hearings.
Excuse me, board.
After the bus garage will be Mrs. Bird.
Here, Mrs. Bird.
So she's on the bus tomorrow morning? After I reported abuse to my child, I will come to you then? Okay. I hope everybody here also heard that. Please report to Mrs. Burdick tomorrow morning. If there's issues.
Excuse me, board. We have the temporary supervisor for the bus garage. So, have you heard these complaints?
Yes.
And have you done anything about it?
It would be inappropriate for her to discuss.
Say again?
It would be inappropriate, and in fact, that she can't discuss any actions. Be assured that she will be spoken to. We will investigate it. We've heard everything you've said, but we just can't give you any.
So pretty much
the assurances we can give you is that we will act appropriately in accordance with what we find out.
Yeah, excuse me. As far as I know, you pulled him off the bus. Did you have allegations?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you because other people are talking.
You pull this man off the bus with allegations true? I'm asking you a question.
The question that you're asking is there proof? Are there proof?
You're saying there's allegations and everything.
There's allegations, and we'll investigate the evidence and proof.
Okay.
Yes.
Full videotape and all that. So you pulled him off the bus with no proof or anything. So what's it going to take to get this new bus driver off that bus? Obviously, all the parents of these children are having problems with this bus driver. It should have been taken.
medical bills.
Okay. Why wait until the I used to work. Alright? We might as well do the safe dark way and take the bus driver off the bus for tomorrow and review it all tomorrow and come here to business. Make all the parents happy, at least for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've already answered this.
Yeah, man, we just need information so that we can get this release of information. So is there a legal contact for the school that we can contact? So I can get his name and number, and because anybody can write a tort, and I'm sure there's more than enough people here to sign a class action lawsuit right tonight. So if I get the signatures tonight, you only need 3. I'm sure I'll have more than 3 people. Get the bus drivers on the bus tomorrow so we can file a class action lawsuit against the board for not doing things in the better interest of the board. Because I have at least 3 points that we can talk about just in regards to my child. I'm not counting the other parents I've spoken to. Facebook is a powerful tool. If it can take down the country, it can do wonders for this situation. So I would like a legal contact, and I'm asking you, and I think that's reasonable, since you denied to give us any information.
A legal contact.
Correct. The school board has to have a legal contact, correct?
A legal contact for what you're proposing, I believe, would be your own attorneys.
It wouldn't be, though, because I'm not mandated to have an attorney. We'll say I'm a pro se. So I'm asking you, as a pro se attorney, what is your legal contact? So the administrator of the board can respond? Excuse me?
Hogan, Sarzinski, and Lynch.
Where
offices are located in Binghamton, New York.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank the board for the opportunity for the high school students who will be traveling to Spain tomorrow. And I'm sorry I'm changing the subject. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to your needs. I just wanted to thank you. I think it's a wonderful learning opportunity, and I'm glad my son could be part of it.
Any other topics? Yes.
There's a lot of time. And the kids did a great job.
Thank you. We will need to go into executive session to discuss contracts and specific personnel, after which we will be likely taking action. May I have a motion to go into executive session? Motion by Mr. Wilson. Second by Mr. Dixon. Thank you very much.